Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm going to be doing a speech over Down syndrome. Today I will be informing my audience about the birth defect Down syndrome. Down syndrome is a birth defect that affects 1 in 700 babies in the United States. This birth defect affects 60,000 babies yearly, making it the most common. Even though I don't know anyone with Down syndrome, I think that more people should be aware of this defect. Down syndrome is the most common birth defect. Today I will be informing you about what Down syndrome is, what causes it, and the effects it has on the body. First, let's talk about Down syndrome. According to the National Down Syndrome Society, Down syndrome is the most occurring chromosomal condition. Down syndrome happens when an individual has 47 chromosomes instead of 46. To clarify this, Down syndrome is an error in the cell division, which leaves a sperm or egg with an extra copy of chromosome 21 before or at conception. Down syndrome usually affects the learning process of the child. Now that we have talked about what Down syndrome is, now we will talk about what may be the cause. Scientists have defined what causes Down syndrome. There is no definite scientific research that indicates Down syndrome is caused by environmental factors. According to National Institutes of Health, this type of error that causes Down syndrome is called non-disjunction. The National Institutes of Health also states that the error occurs at random during the formation of an egg or sperm. Now let's discuss the effects it has on the body. Down syndrome has a permanent effect on the body, and the effect depends on the type of Down syndrome the baby has. According to the health information, some possible effects have included hearing problems, eye problems, learning disabilities, and many other issues. People with Down syndrome often have poor muscle tone and a protruding tongue. Health information also indicates that babies with Down syndrome are more susceptible to develop problems with the spinal cord. In conclusion, you have learned about Down syndrome and how it affects many lives. Down syndrome is a birth defect that is common and people should be aware of. I have told you about what Down syndrome is and what causes it and some of the effects it has on a person. After all the information, most people with Down syndrome are living happy lives and living to their mid-50s.